Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. This is for the week of Wednesday, October 28th, 2020, being recorded Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. So the first thing you're going to notice is I'm late again, because I always am. But this will be a little different than most of my late runs, where I'm not going to record this week's thing today. I'm going to record it, I was going to say tomorrow, but this is me. I'm a procrastinating sack of shit. I'm going to say tomorrow. Who the fuck knows when it's done? Part of this is because it is election night, and I'm going to have to talk about that. So I may as well have the results. And part of it is just Monster Prom 2, the summer camp thing, got released, and I own it, and I kind of want to play it, and I've been putting it off because I was hoping for Valicia to play it with me, but she's not having a week right now, so I'm going to play by myself. And this game interferes with that, because to do that, I'm going to have to take 2 hours out of my day, and I work tomorrow, so I want to take one of those hours for Monster Prom. But it has actually been a really eventful week. For one thing, let's talk some weirdness here. Oh god, I'm in this little valley thing, I remember now. Let's talk some weirdness. This Saturday coming up, I have the day off. I requested next Saturday as well as the following 2 Saturdays in November as days off, and I got this Saturday. Also this Saturday, I'm expected to work an 8-hour shift. Now, I'm no math wizard, but I'm pretty sure that adds up to 32 hours, which is more hours than are in a day. I gotta get a hold of personnel and have a little chatsy about that. My attempts to do so on my work days have not met with success. The personnel lady just hasn't been in, or if she has, I have missed her entirely. So, next on the agenda, one of my coworkers was fired. I was told by the boss that it was because he was just too slow at the job, which I believe, because he was bringing in the carts 5 and 6 at a time, manually, never using the mule. And I mean, never using the mule. Which, I don't like to use the mule, but I'll fucking do it, you know. And he wouldn't stack carts for the person who is using the mule to use the mule on them. So, he just was not doing what he needed to do. And he was a nice guy, but just, yeah, he just wasn't holding his weight. One of the other people on the front end, who is kind of a colossal asshole, and I'll get into that in a minute, claims, no, that's not it, but I didn't bother listening to what he says, because fuck him. Chase you motherfuckers away. So, about the guy who's an asshole, I've already reported this, and I think I'm going to have to report it again, because nothing has been done to the best of my knowledge. But, the other day, Monday, it happened Monday, I went into work, and had an early morning shift. Store wasn't even technically open yet. So, carts are all put away. I'm looking for the good mule, because we have 2 of them. We have one that clunks when it moves, and one that actually does its fucking job. And I wanted the good mule, and it wasn't on the grocery side, so I figure, okay, it must by default be on the GM side, so I'm gonna go get it. Well, first off, I had to walk to the open port, because I was doing stuff, and I hit a patch of sanitizer that was on the floor, and started to slide, and fortunately I have unreasonably good reflexes when it comes to stopping myself from falling. I don't know what it is. I just do not fall. I think I have fallen 3 times in the past 6 years, and 2 of them involved Aquatica, and those were cases where I'm like, well, I'm standing right next to water, fuck it, I'm gonna fall into the water. You know, those were cases where I could have stopped the fall, but didn't really see the reason to, because, again, I was standing right near water, and it wasn't going to hurt if I fell anyway. So rather than sit there and flail for 10 minutes, I just opted to fall, you know? So, again, I didn't fall, but I could have, and I could have severely hurt myself. Because there's nothing but concrete and equipment there. And being the dutiful employee I was, and by the way, this guy's sitting, he's supposed to be doing front-end shit, you know, he's gonna man the greeter position, check customers' cards, that kind of thing. Now, there's currently nobody in the store for another half hour, so he's not doing that, he's just looking at his phone. Perfectly okay at this point. I later found out that's pretty much the only thing he does. But, I tell him, hey dude, there's something slippery here, you might want to watch out. And he's like, oh, I know, it's hand sanitizer or whatever. And basically the gist of it was, he knew it was there, and he didn't clean it up, and he didn't fucking warn me it was there. Could have saved me from hurting myself. Someone other than me, with less good reflexes, move Winkles, would have hurt themselves really goddamn badly. Like, not could have, would have. Because I almost went down. So, yeah, that could have been real bad. And, by the way, I'm the one who ended up cleaning it up. Another thing is he keeps taking the mule. Which, and here's the thing, I honestly don't mind if anyone working front end takes the mule when I'm not using it. But there's two problems with this, and one little circumstance. The reason he does it is not that he can't push the carts up by hand, because his job is also to make sure the carts are a certain distance up so the customers aren't walking like 6 feet into the store to get their carts. But it's not that he can't do it, because we have a couple people who just aren't strong enough to do it. He said to himself, I don't want to. You know, that's not my job. I don't want to push these by hand. So he's a lazy sack of shit. But the thing that really fucks with me, and this is the reason I cannot stand this guy, and again, he needs to be fired for the negligence, if nothing else. I mean, his attitude sucks too, but the fucking negligence should get him shit-canned. But when he takes the mule, he doesn't put it back. And that's important because it kind of has to not stay inside the carts. Because, for those that don't know, what the mule is it's this big, for lack of a word, block of metal with these two little grooves in the front. And those grooves are to fit the wheels of a cart in. So the mule pushes its own cart around, and the cart slides into the carts and pushes them around. That's how the mule works. Anyway, the trick here is you can use the mule to push up the other carts by just sliding into the cart and hitting the on button, which is fine. What he needs to do afterwards is pull the mule back out and set it outside, because there's no room to set it aside. You know what I mean? And he won't do that, so the mule's in the way. There's an entire row of shit that I cannot put a cart into unless I take the extra steps of muling the stuff up there, pulling that mule out, getting it out of the way, and muling my shit into there. So that's already one extra step he's adding to my job, and which, by the way, is preventing me from getting more carts. It's slowing me down from that. But on top of that, he takes the remote for the mule and doesn't put it back either, because there's this little metal pocket in the, let's call it the stem of the mule, the part that leads up to the handlebars. There's this little metal pocket that the remote slides right into, and it is there for precisely that purpose, to hold the remote. And you're supposed to put the remote in there when it's not being used. You're supposed to put the mule outside when it's not being used, and you're supposed to plug it in when it's not being used. Sometimes he'll do that third part, but never the other two. So what I've taken to doing is I'll put my mule somewhere in the parking lot so that he can't see it, and then grab the second mule that he's using and put it on the other side of the store, knowing that he's such a lazy sack of shit that he's not gonna walk more than 2 feet to find the damn thing. He'll just give up and either let the shit go or push it by hand like he's fucking supposed to. Basically, there's the bare minimum to do your job, and he's too lazy to do that. And I don't like that at all. Winkles, I swear to God, I'm gonna whoop your little ass. Okay, we're gonna hit some Evo here. Could've sworn there was another one. Okay, there was. Good. First off, what's this? Ah, resources. Cool. And this settlement thing, which is probably either sleep or crafting faster with less stuff. Yep, crafting with less stuff. So now I just need the 2 cycads, so I just need to find 1 cycad plant and I'm good. It's actually a very good one to have. We're gonna sleep until about 6 a.m. So yeah, I'm just done with this guy. I have no fucking patience for him. The good/bad news is it's cooling down now, so it's actually been rather nice temperatures at work. The problem is, as I shift away from the morning shifts and go towards the night shifts, again, it's gonna be cold as balls for me personally, and those who know me know I'm an absolute wuss when it comes to cold temperatures of any kind. Alright, let's stand up. For danger. Nope, looks like we're clear. Okay, cool. Let's eat some more berries. Oh, yesterday, that is to say Monday, I had to remove what I thought was possibly a dead raccoon. Turned out to have been an actual dead raccoon. I came to work, and there it was, near the curb of the sidewalk of the GM side. And, it looked very, very dead. And I, from being on Facebook a lot and getting updates about various wild critters, know that playing possum isn't like I thought it was, where it's just, oh, they're pretending to be dead. No, they fucking go comatose. They go dead to the world. Completely insensitive. Like, they cannot do shit. So there was every possibility that this was not a dead possum. This could have been a very much alive possum that was just freaked the fuck out. And so I used the wheel of my bike to nudge it, because again, if it's alive, at any point it could wake back up, and well, I've heard they can't really bite, like they don't really have very good jaws, but at least try to bite me. And while they're not very good disease vectors, it could still do things I don't want it to do to me. So, naturally, I wanted to get space between it and me, and the only thing I had was my bike tire. And I was as gentle as I could be with it. Then I informed 3 separate people at work, one of which finally was able to do something, and this ended up with me having to take a big-ass shovel and basically scoop the possum up and put him in the palmetto bushes. And I checked on him a couple times during the day. Near the very end of my shift, like 9 hours into the day, he was still exactly where I left him, so I'm forced to conclude that he was in fact quite dead, which is upsetting. I tried to save the possum. It just didn't work out for me, that's all. There we go. Give me them nuts. My nut pile. But yeah, so far this is a pretty good place. I could stick around here a little while I do my little intros and shit. So yeah, I remember how I mentioned it was eventful. I have started going back to Cece's Pizza. I think I've been there 3 or 4 times in the past week. I actually just went earlier today, which was a lot of fun. Got a good meal out of it. I'm good and happy and stuffed and all the shit you're supposed to be after coming home from a buffet. A buffet. It bothered me that I didn't get all of that word out properly. But the other day, and I've been seeing, you know, commercials. I don't watch TV. I'm not trying to like, oh, I don't watch TV. I'm not trying to sound smug. I just don't watch TV anymore. I don't have a cable box in my room. We don't do the old school plug into the back of your TV and you get cable thing like we used to be able to do. So there's really no way for me to watch TV short of going into the front room, which I'm not fucking with. You know what I mean? Are these aloe? Yes, these are aloe. Are the monkeys thirsty? We got some thirsty monkeys on our hands? See, we're just gonna set these right here for now. Pile these fuckers up. We'll drink some more water. Yeah, so far this seems to be a nice, safe place. But anyway, I happen to see on TV commercials for AT&T, like, oh, do this, do that, etc. You know? And I've been with Metro for a while, and I had long suspected that they had fucked me over, but as I've told people, I don't really buy phones or know anything about phones, so what the fuck do I know? But yeah, I've since worked at Walmart and had people in electronics. Several of my friends work electronics. Explain to me that, yeah, they fucked you over, like, they shouldn't have made you pay for that extra for a second phone after you bought the first phone that didn't work. You know, they shouldn't have charged me extra for the replacement. And they shouldn't have kept handing me back an old battery each time. So, yeah. So, I just got it in my head that I'm gonna, you know, I wanted to look up how much it would cost to switch to AT&T and all that. And I happened to note that I live near an AT&T store. Because I couldn't really do this online because, well, I wanted to keep my number. And that's not really within my ability to do. You know what I mean? Okay. So, new clans settlement established. So anyway, I go to the AT&T store, which turns out right next door to Cece's Pizza. Well, not right next door, but like 10 minutes on the bike, you know? So well within my range of movement. Actually, I'm gonna awaken some more neurons here. Are there more to them? Did I basically get them all? Well, there's that one that I can't touch for reasons. There are these. Yeah, let's awaken as many of these as possible. So anyway, I go to Cece's and I go to get this new phone and start getting everything set up, and then forget one of the digits in my social security number. Basically have to go back home, get my card, come back. It was a whole thing. And I have my new phone. It's what is it, like a A51 or something like that? And it's real nice. I'm still adjusting to it a little bit, but the difference in the power between the phone I got from Metro for $60 and this phone that I'm paying $5 a month for is just night and day. There is no comparison between the two. Like, they charged me $60 for a phone at Metro, Whereas this one, it's probably going to be more than that, but I'm only paying $5 extra a month. So in short, it's costing me $20 extra a month to maintain the bill. But I still have, you know, the unlimited talk and text and data. I do not have the hotspot, but I didn't really use it that much. But what I do have is I was expecting an upgrade in my capacity. Like I had my original phone was 8 gigabytes, the one I got from Metro was 16. This one is 128. I have literally reinstalled every single game and app that I would still use from my previous phones onto this phone, and every single audiobook I have from Audible, and I've still only used up 50 gigabytes. So, yeah, and that's even with fucking data hogs like Dokkan Battle, you know? So, it's a hefty-ass phone. And I've even added some new ones, like I'm now playing Ruby Amity Arena, which I'm having a lot of fun with. I'm actually really good at it, especially when I change my strategy. Because when I first started it, they give you a kind of a diverse group. Like, you've got some of the Ruby girls. You get, specifically, you get Ruby, Blake, and Weiss. You also get Nolan from Team Bronze. And Jean from Team Juniper, and a couple others. And you'll get things like, oh, here's some Elysian Knights, here's some White Fang soldiers, and here's some Grim. And I'm like, well, why would you ever want to play the Grim? Well, one day, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a Grim deck. And it turns out I am devastating with a Grim deck. Like, I have an absurdly high win percentage. Like, 80% of the matches I play, I'll win. So, yeah, Grim, really good. Especially if you're playing the way I do. And, one of the things I both like and dislike is it's really easy to get characters without ever spending money. I have spent money, because I happened to have had extra last month, because it was a 3-paycheck month. I wanted to get the new Vanguard Jean character, which is basically Season 7 Jean when he got his weapon upgrades and he's got a little bit more confidence and he's starting to grow into being a leader. I just like the character Jean, so I wanted to have this new super version. And I got what they called the lunch money thing, which is basically, oh, every day you log in, you get some extra gems and cookies, etc. Because there's 4 types of currency. You've got Lien, which is the actual money in the game. You've got dust gems, you've got cookies, and you've got chocolate cookies. And this is just, hey, you get extra gems and cookies every day for like $10 for 28 days. And I figured, fuck it, I've got it, why not? So, if you want to play this game and not spend a dime, you will get tons of good shit. Their system, because these free-to-play phone games always have a system designed to make it so that you're not just going to play endlessly. Well, Ruby's system's actually a pretty fucking good one. Here's how it works. You get these little keys, and you get them, I think every 2.5 hours you will get a key, and you can hold up to 5 keys at a time. How this works is there are 3 ways to play. There's sparring, which is just you versus the AI, there's nothing at stake, and you just play until you're done, and you can quit with no penalties. And this is basically how you test out new decks. There's play for fun, where you play for, well, fun, against actual humans, another good way to test out your decks. And then there's play for fame, which is pretty much exclusively what I do. You will play for, I want to say it's 30 trophies, and if you lose some of them, you know. Trophies basically determine what level you're in, and what kind of figures are available, plus there are little milestones for a certain number of trophies. Like every 50 trophies or so, you might get some extra dust, or you might get an exotic card, you know, that kind of thing. And, basically, every time you play for fame, and possibly for fun, I don't know, I don't really play for fun enough to test this, but every time you play for fame, if you win, you get a lockbox. And I know lockbox has, you know, connotations, but I don't really know what else to call it. And the lockboxes are opened up by your keys. And lockboxes can contain anywhere from like 1 to 7 cards that you just get for free. They come in different things, like you might get a bronze one, or you might get a gold one. Sometimes there's slightly better stuff in the higher tier ones, and sometimes they're just fancier boxes. And you can really get anything. Like, you'll usually get, like, gold or lien or some commons, but I've gotten exotics out of them, too. Oh, by the way, it's common, rare, exotic, and legendary are the rarities. In case you wanted to know. And basically, the idea is you can keep playing for fame and earn lien and earn cookies and, you know, just earn trophies, which will get you, you know, better figures to unlock and help you unlock more stuff and all that. But if you don't have any keys, you won't get the aftermatch rewards of the actual cards, because you get cards every time you do that. And so, there's nothing to stop you from playing. All it does is stop you from racking up cards. And I think that's a pretty good system. You can play for free all goddamn day. There's nothing that will ever stop you. Well, you can't do play for fun once you hit a certain level per tier. Like, I think right now I'm capped at level 7. But you know what I mean. It's like, I can play for fun, or I can basically do matches as much as I want. If I want to plug my phone in and spend 10 straight hours doing matches, nothing will stop me. I just won't get rewards for most of them. Let me rephrase that. I won't get direct card rewards from that. Like, I'll get trophy unlocks, I'll get lien, which I can use to level up my figs. I will get cookies, which I can do to get emotes and shit. So, as a free-to-play system goes, it's a really good one. But the downside is they also give you so many figures and so many ways to get new figures without ever spending a dime. Like, you will rack up gems, which is the main currency in the game, the main, like, premium currency, which you can use to buy lockboxes with. You'll rack them up doing nothing. Like, you'll get 300 a day just from doing your daily quests. And by daily quests, I mean, like, win 5 matches in a 24-hour period. You know? So if you just play the game, they will shower you with stuff. And this is where the problem comes in. You get good stuff. You're not really gonna... If it's in your tier, you're not gonna go without it for very long. I have every character with, like, one exception that I want in my tier. And that's only because the one I want just unlocked as something I could get in my tier. That being the Queen Lancer, which is one of the Grims. Basically, think a big-ass wasp. That's what a Queen Lancer is. And... are you not following me? You're not following me. Why aren't you following me? Anyway, the Queen Lancer just unlocked for my Arena tier. And that's the only reason I don't have it, because I've had this tier for, like, a day. And I haven't played much in that time, so I haven't really had much chance to unlock it. But within the next day or so, I will have at least one Queen Lancer. And when I say at least one, you only ever get to use one card, but the more you have, the more you can level up said card. So it is very much in your best interest to get as many Queen Lancers, or whatever character you want to level up. So, the downside with this is that means pretty much everyone you fight is gonna have some really good shit. Like, I am so sick of running into Penny. There are 2 versions at the moment that I know of Penny. I mean, there's 2 or 3 versions of every named character with any amount of screen time. Or at least, in the sense that they are main characters with screen time. Like, Team Coffee, to my knowledge, only has 1 of each person. Team Bronze only has 1 of each person, that kind of thing. But Team Ruby has 2 to 3 per person. Team Juniper, 2 to 3 per person, including Pyrrha. Pyrrha, actually, I noticed this the other day, has a double card called Pomegranate, which is her and Nora as a team. The kicker is, Nora is wearing her second outfit, which she didn't start wearing till after Pyrrha died, and that's kind of fucking with my OCD. Which I don't have that card yet. Legendaries are a little harder to get, but still gettable. I think Legendary is about the only thing you consistently have to spend money on. But they're basically just double cards, and they're kind of a double-edged sword, to be honest. They're not the best cards, you know what I mean? They're just really fun to have. So yeah, we're gonna do the reinforcements here. Not that. This one? Yeah. That one. Not that. Not that. No. Just to make sure that that's easy to unlock in the future. There we go. And now we'll generation up. But anyway, like I was saying, Penny has two forms. The first one has a special ability where she can just kind of throw her little swords at any target of the map, which will exclusively be, you know, your turrets or your tower, which are your main things. So basically, Penny gets a free hit on your terrain without having to cross territory. And then there's Penny 2.0, who is a colossal pain in my ass because I don't have a lot of strong, cheap flyers to counter her. She flies and shoots constant damage laser beams, and it is a pain in the ass. Alright, so I'm gonna need some people here. You'll do. Ma! Do we have a pa? Do you have a mate? You do not. That's whoa. You know what? Everybody drink some water real quick. We're baking alive in the summer sun, and it's not doing anyone any favors. Plus, this has the added benefit of getting everyone in range for this. Oh, I love that makes splashy noises. But yeah, basically, if you want a good free-to-play game where you're not going to be heavily restricted up your family, I can't breed with you. That's a phrase you didn't expect to hear on a Let's Play channel. Your family, I can't breed with you. There we go. Yeah, Ruby Amity Arena is pretty good for that. Matches are pretty short. They're limited to 2 minutes, at which point you go into sudden death if nobody's clearly winning. And at that point you have another 2-minute timer, and if nobody wins then, it just becomes a draw. You know? So it's pretty good. It's a quick game. You can, in relatively, like, under a minute is all it takes to get a match most of the time. So it's quick. It's something you can play without too much hassle. And it's really easy to amass a huge force of really good characters. Like, I only spent money on legendaries once, and I got 2 out of them. And I think I was only supposed to get the 1, but whatever. Analyze that. Analyze that. Put that down, you don't need it. Okay, here's a Deado. Where's my Deados? So yeah, new phone, new games. Saw a movie, saw a really good movie actually, called Come Play. And when I went to see New Mutants, it was one of the ads that I saw. And I was just intrigued by it because it's a little horror movie, and every now and then I get in a mood where I really just want to do horror movie shit. And the fact that this particular horror movie came out on Halloween was just a bonus. But nonetheless, it was pretty cool. For those that don't know what I'm doing in game, when you generation up, all of your elders will die, and all your adults will become elders, etc. Children become adults. And if you look at the bones of the elders that are left behind, you will gain a whole lot of stuff. Like, if 6 of them die, and you look at all the skeletons, you'll basically fill up your meter so that you can re-get a lot of the old shit that you lost. Oh, that's why. I'm like, why am I overheated again? Because I guess this monkey didn't drink. Oh, no, wait, I had babies and then I didn't drink. I forgot. I drank and then I had babies. Doesn't quite work that way. In a minute, I'll get some 15-year-old coconuts, because that can't possibly end poorly for me. I'll still be as fresh as the day I picked them. Because fuck logic. This is ancestors. Yeah, those sticks won't be even slightly brittle. About to say, there better be another monkey getting that other one. I'm gonna whoop your monkey asses. Making me grab my own coconuts. Savages, all of you. It's like you're not even civilized. Here's my pile of coconuts. Alrighty, so yeah, this is actually a good position to stay for now. Oh. I'm waiting for another monkey to come up. I had the other coconut. And anyway, Come Play was a pretty wholesome horror movie. I mean, it had a lot of tension in it. It had some scary moments in it. But all in all, it had a very good ending. I mean, there were some moments, some really unpleasant moments, because it's a fucking horror movie. But it's also, and take this how you will, I would say it's a horror movie you could take your kids to. If you have really little kids, this is the kind of horror movie you can take them to, where they might have some nightmares, but it's not going to traumatize them for life. I mean, it's not like you're going to watch some stalker just brutally murdering people every 5 seconds. It's not that kind of a horror movie. And hey, maybe that's a deal breaker for you. That's fine. I enjoyed it. I might see it again. It depends on what my days off look like and whether it's still in theaters at the time. So let's prep these coconuts, shall we? Everybody gets a coconut. Oh, I forgot this is a multi-stage process. Have we not? Apparently we have. Interesting, I figured this was a thing we'd done already. Apparently I haven't done this at all in this playthrough. Let's prep some coconuts, shall we? Now I think this is the good one, where... Nope, that's the one where I make the drink. Shit. I'm gonna figure out what it is I need for the coconut that I want to do. So yeah, basically the pierced coconut is just something you drink out of. There's a really good version you can do though. I don't like any of the drinking ones because they just leave you with this husk that monkeys will sometimes pick up that'll just kind of get in the fucking way. It is not bad, though. But yeah, I just don't really have a way to deal with that anymore. Now, I think how you deal with this is obsidian, but I could be wrong. We're gonna try granite. That's the one. And the way this works is you can just fucking eat it. And of course, when you're done, there's nothing left to go to waste. Yum. My monkeys are gonna have horrific blood-curdling diarrhea. Just the way I like it. Excuse me, monkeys. Do you have a piece of granite? Good, monkey, you do. You do have a piece of granite. So I'm gonna set this down real quick. Take another one of these. And one thing I really like about these coconuts, as opposed to, you know, the quote-unquote cocos, is the fact that it just takes the one hit. Just the one. And you're one and done. Alright, so we're just going to set the coconuts right here. Give me old coconuts. Every monkey grab a cocoa if you can. And if you can't, then don't. Oops, there we go. And we'll just add this to the pile of food. I do, and I've said this before, but I really do wish there was some incentive to stay in place every now and then. Because, I mean, I can stockpile food and supplies, and it's just really cool. I do want to find some more rocks at some place. Preferably something other than just flat out granite, but if I can find more granite, then I'll find more granite. Have monkey get some more granite. There's a reason, I promise. better see Granite in every monkey's hands. That looked about right. Cool. Got some? You do. Good. We're just gonna start a second pile of granite right here. Because we're gonna do that whole thing where I prep some aloe leaves and shit. Alright, so first off, every monkey grabs some granite. We're all gonna do a quick lap. Every monkey switch hands. Damn it, no! Every monkey come back. Without exception, every monkey. Okay. Oh. You're dumb monkeys, aren't you? Okay, good. This really does make me want to play more Dawn of Man, which is, I would actually consider it kind of an unofficial sequel to this. It's a very different style of game. It's more of like a Age of Empires style game, where it's kind of an RTS, but with crafting and shit, you know? Like, you have to make stuff and manage resources. But basically, it's like, oh, you've got Stone Age humans, now go from there. Like, you start off gathering sticks and twigs and flint and shit like that. So we're gonna... let's go straight to this. And then we're gonna done. And I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.